Somewhere in your house, there is a box. It might be a wooden one with a hinged lid. It might be a tin that used to hold biscuits. It might be a wicker basket in the bottom of a closet that you have not opened since the funeral. And inside it are buttons and thread and a pincushion shaped like a tomato. I want to tell you something about that box because most people have it completely backwards. You are not looking at sewing supplies. You are looking at an inventory. Every single thing in that box was chosen by a woman who was careful with money. She did not buy the cheap one if the good one would last. She kept what was worth keeping, and she threw away what was not. That box is 50 or 60 years of a woman's judgment, sitting in a closet, and it is very often the most valuable container in the house. I have seen a single button out of a box like that sell for more than the sewing machine it sat beside. 10 things, counting down. And I will tell you exactly what each one looks like so you can go and check tonight. Number 3 is the one I want you watching for, because it is the one where people throw away hundreds of dollars without ever knowing, and there is a test for it you can do at your own kitchen sink in about a minute. Before we start, one thing that will make the rest of this useful. Go and get the box now, not later. Put it on the table in front of you while you listen, because half of what I'm about to describe you will only recognize when it is in your hand, and none of it will happen if you wait until the video is over. Let us start. Number 10. Wooden thread spools. And I am starting here on purpose, because I want to be straight with you before I ask you to believe anything else. You have seen these. Wooden, not plastic, the brand printed on the flat end. People put them in jars and call them farmhouse decor. Here is the truth. They are worth about $1, maybe $5 if the label is perfect and the color is unusual, and you have a great many of them. They are lovely. They are not treasure. I could have told you they were worth $40 each, and a lot of you would have gone and looked. But then the other 9 things on this list would be worth nothing to you, because you would not believe a word I said. So there it is. The spools are pretty. Keep them because you like them. Now let me show you what actually has money in it. Number 9. Advertising needle books. These are small paper folders, about the size of your palm, with a printed cover. Usually a picture on the front, a company name, sometimes a pretty woman or a flower or a scene. Inside, rows of needles held in a paper sleeve. They were given away free. A shop handed them out. A travelling salesman left one behind. They cost nobody anything. And now they are collected, because the printing on the front is beautiful and almost nobody kept them. A common one in decent shape runs $15 to $30. A rare brand, or one with unusual artwork, in clean condition with the needles still in it, can reach $80. Here is what to look for. Colour lithograph printing, not a modern flat print. Foreign lettering is a good sign. A great many came from Germany and Japan. And condition is everything. A torn cover kills it. Go look. If your mother sewed, there is one in that box. Number 8. Mother of pearl and abalone buttons. Now we are into the buttons, and the buttons are where the real money hides. Pick up a card of white buttons and hold them up to a window. Real shell has depth. The light goes into it and comes back with a soft rainbow in it. And no two are quite the same, because they were cut from a shell, and a shell is not uniform. Abalone is stronger. Greens and blues and pinks moving as you turn it. Plastic looks flat. The shine sits on the surface instead of inside it, and every button on the card is identical. That difference is the whole test, and it takes you 4 seconds. A card of genuine carved shell buttons runs $20 to $150, depending on the carving and the size. Large ones with deep carving are worth the most, and there is a reason these are worth what they are. Every one of them was cut and carved out of a real shell, by hand, on a machine that a person had to sit at. That industry is essentially gone. Nobody is making these anymore. And every card that gets broken up for a craft project is one fewer card in the world. And here is the part people get wrong. Do not cut them off an old garment to sell them. A complete original card, with the paper backing and the maker's name, is worth considerably more than loose buttons in a tin. Number 7. The old shears. Every sewing box has scissors in it. Most of them are worth nothing. But somewhere in a great many of these boxes, there is a heavy pair of shears with a name stamped into the blade. Wyss, or a German name, often with Solingen written under it. Pick them up. Weight tells you first. Old forged shears are heavy in the hand, and the handles are shaped, not stamped flat. The blades were ground, and you can see it. A good pair, cleaned and sharp, runs $40 to $200. Dressmakers' shears in the larger sizes bring the most, and pinking shears with a maker's name do well. The one thing you do not do is put them in a drawer with everything else. Steel that has been knocked against other steel for 30 years loses the edge that made it worth something. And do not have them sharpened at a hardware shop before you find out what they are. A good pair of old shears has a specific grind on it, and a man with a bench grinder can take $150 off the value in about 40 seconds. Number 6. Sterling silver thimbles. Pick up every thimble in the box and turn it over and look at the rim. If it says sterling or 925, you are holding silver. Most thimbles are steel or aluminium and are worth nothing at all. But sterling was ordinary once. A girl was given one when she learned to sew, and a good many of them have been sitting in these boxes ever since. A plain sterling thimble runs $50 to $80. One with a decorated band, a scene, or a stone set in the top from a known maker reaches $200 and $300. Look at the rim, not the top. The mark is almost always on the rim. It is small, and it wears. Take it to a window and use your glasses. And do not polish it. I mean that. 100 years of gentle darkening in the low places of a decorated thimble is called patina, and collectors pay for it. 20 minutes with silver polish and a cloth will take it straight off, and it does not come back. And if the top is worn through with holes, that is not damage. That is 50 years of somebody's work, and collectors do not mind it nearly as much as you would think. Now that was hundreds of dollars. The next 4 are where it changes. Number 5. Figural tape measures. This is the one nobody expects. Between about 1900 and the 1930s, tape measures were made as little novelties. Celluloid, shaped like something. A basket of fruit, a dog, a bird, a shoe, a person. You pull the tape out of the object and it winds back in. They were cheap souvenirs. They were given as gifts, and they are now one of the most collected things in the entire sewing world. An ordinary figural celluloid tape measure runs $100 to $200. An unusual figure, in good condition, with the tape intact and readable, reaches $300 and $400. What to look for? It will be light in the hand. Celluloid is very light. The colours will be soft, not bright. And the tape should still pull and wind. A snapped tape hurts the value but does not destroy it, because the figure is what people want. One warning, and it is a real one. Celluloid is unstable as it ages, and it does not like heat or being sealed in plastic. If you find one, it goes in a drawer with air around it, not in a sealed bag on a sunny windowsill. Go through the bottom of the box. These get buried. Number 4. The patterns. Almost everybody throws these away. They are paper. They are old. They are in the way. Some of them are worth more than the sewing machine. Look for 2 things. First, the word Vogue. and under it, Paris Original or Couturier. Those were licensed from actual Paris fashion houses, and they came with a label you could sew into the finished garment. If that little woven label is still in the envelope, the value roughly doubles. Second, look at the tissue inside. Very old patterns are not printed. The pieces have holes punched in them instead of printed lines. Unprinted means before about 1950, and older is generally better. A designer pattern in a complete envelope runs $75 to $300. The one part you do not skip. Count the pieces against the back of the envelope before you decide what you have. A complete pattern is worth several times an incomplete one, and it takes you 2 minutes to check. Number 3, and this is the one I told you to watch for. Carved Bakelite buttons. Bakelite is an early plastic, made from about 1927 into the 40s. It was used for radios and jewellery and, for a while, for buttons. And carved Bakelite buttons are now some of the most sought-after buttons in the world. I have seen single deep carved examples sell for over $100 each. $50 to $200 is an ordinary range for a good one. Here is how you tell, and you can do this at the sink in about a minute. Run hot tap water over the button for 20 or 30 seconds, then bring it straight to your nose. Bakelite gives off a distinct chemical smell, sharp, a bit like an old telephone. Modern plastic gives you nothing at all. If you would rather not, the other way is a metal polish called simichrome. A dab on a cotton swab, rubbed on the back of the button, turns yellow on Bakelite. It stays clean on plastic. What I do not want you to do is set fire to it or put it in your mouth. People on the internet suggest both. Do not. And the look, once you know it. Bakelite is heavy for its size. It makes a deep clunk rather than a click when you drop it on a table. And the colours are those particular butterscotch, dark red, deep green tones that nothing modern quite matches. Go and find your button tin, right after this. Number 2, the chatelaine. This one is rare, and if you have it, you will know exactly what I mean the moment I describe it. A chatelaine is a decorative clip that a woman wore at her waist, with short chains hanging from it, and on the ends of the chains, her tools. Scissors, a thimble holder, a needle case, sometimes a tiny notebook or a pencil. It was how a woman carried what she needed before pockets were common in women's clothing. Silver or silver plate, often very finely worked, mostly Victorian. A complete chatelaine with its original tools still attached runs $200 to over $1,000. Even a single silver piece off one, a needle case, a scissor sheath, is worth $100 or more on its own. If there is anything in that box with a decorative clip and short chains, stop and look properly. It will usually be in the bottom, tangled, and it will look like broken jewellery. Which brings me to number 1. Number 1 is not in the box, it is beside it. The Singer Featherweight. It is small, it is black. It has gold decals on it, usually scrollwork. It weighs about 11 pounds, which is why they called it that, and it almost always lives in its own black case with a little tray of attachments inside. They were made from 1933, and they were made for decades, and they were the machine a woman took with her, to a class, to her sister's house, to a new marriage. A working featherweight, in its case, with the attachments, sells for $300 to $800. Clean, serviced, with the manual and the original oil can, it goes higher. And the white and tan versions are considerably rarer than the black. Understand what that means. There is a chance that the thing sitting in the back of a closet under a pile of blankets that nobody has plugged in since your mother died is worth more than everything else in this video combined. Go and look tonight. It is small enough to be forgotten and heavy enough that somebody put it somewhere out of the way. And here is the last thing I want to say, and then I will let you go. I have spent a lot of this video telling you what things are worth, because that is what you came for, and I meant every number. But I want you to notice what that box actually is. It is a record of a woman who could make something out of nothing, who mended instead of replacing, who kept the good buttons off a coat before she gave the coat away because she knew the buttons were the best part of it, who taught somebody, at some point, how to thread a needle. Nobody made an inventory of that life. She did it herself, without meaning to. And it is sitting in a closet in your house, so go and open it. Not to sell it, to see it. And tell me down below, because I read every one of these. Whose sewing box do you have? What is her name? And is there one thing in it you have never been able to throw away? The item that draws the most stories is the one I go deep on next.